You said that Kevin Hart sold his name?
Just Google it. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. But usually, I know for me, and again, allegedly for me, like deals have been presented to me. They want to loan me a bunch of money to grow my business, but if I break covenants, which means I don't pay the mortgage on it, then they get my name and they get all the shit I own. And then I just, what I'm seeing, I'm like, well, I see a business go out of business and all of a sudden somebody owns his name. That means somebody's in debt. But I'm not saying Kevin's in debt. I just a businessman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not dumb. You know what I mean? So
you can hear the way it was framed in that conversation. It wasn't presented as a business move. It was presented as something much deeper. And that's where the split starts, because some people see strategy and other people see sacrifice. And both sides have valid points depending on how you look at it. Now let's slow this down and break it down without emotion first. Kevin Hart entered into a deal with Authentic Brands Group, which is a company that specializes turning names into long-term global brands. And this is the same type of structure used to preserve legacies that last for decades. We're talking about a system that can take a name and expand it into products, licensing deals, and global business opportunities. And that is something one individual can rarely scale on their own.
Kevin Hart, globally recognized comedian, actor, and producer, has just announced that he sold his personal brand to a company called Authentic Brands Group. Through this agreement, Kevin Hart is transferring ownership of his entire brand, essentially, including his name and his likeness, to Authentic Brands Group, and will now co-own his own personal brand with the company.
Now you can see how the business side of this moves. This is not just about cashing out. This is about positioning a name to live beyond the person. But even when you understand that, there's still a question that doesn't go away. Why would a man who is already extremely successful need to do this? Kevin Hart is not struggling for money, and he's not someone who needed a lifeline. He built his name from nothing and turned it into a global brand without this type of structure. So when someone on his level makes a move like this, it forces you to look at what he gained and what he gave up. And what he gave up is a level of control. Because once your name becomes part of a corporate system, it is no longer fully yours. It becomes an asset that has to perform for a larger entity. And assets are used strategically, not emotionally. Now let's address why this feels different to a lot of people. When people hear that a black man sold the rights to his name to a large corporation, it touches a historical nerve. And whether people want to say it or not, that history affects how this decision was perceived. Some people see it as a power move. Other people see it as a loss of ownership. And that conflict is real.